Most of you are living your life backwards. You're going through the motions, you're being reactive, and you're hoping somehow that your vision or however you define success will come to fruition. But that's not how it works. If you're frustrated, overwhelmed, full of anxiety, it's because you're stuck in reverse. It's time to change all that, flip the script, and really become proactive and get after life. I'm Chad Carden, and over the years, I've helped thousands of leaders take control of their life by helping turn their vision into reality. So let's look at this, and let's look at how most people are stuck in reverse, living life backwards. If you think about it and you really audit your everyday situation, most of the time, this is how it shows up. All of us wake up every single day and we have activities we have to do. Now, here's the question. Do most people do the things that they need to do, or do most people do the things that are easy and convenient? Well, research shows that most people do the things that are easy and convenient. And if you do the same activities over and over and over and over and over again, ultimately, that will produce habits. Some habits good, some habits bad. Those habits that we have in life will produce results. Again, results good or results bad. For example, a lot of times when I wake up, the first thing that I used to do is I used to check my email. And I got caught up in email land. And because of those activities, that produced habits, that produced results that I didn't necessarily like because I was being reactive versus proactive. So let's double click a little bit on habits, and let's double click on being intentional or being reactive, right? We recently did a time and motion study with an organization on the East Coast. And one of the things that they found is that they did a time and motion study for 3 months. And they found that the first thing they do when they come into the office, this was pre-COVID, but the first thing they do when they come in the office is they got behind their desks, they opened up their laptops, and they began to check their email. We audited this for 3 months, and we found that they actually, on average, spent 2 hours and 18 minutes in email land. And what they found is from that 2 hours and 18 minutes, the day got away from them. Have you ever left a day and said, what in the hell did I do today? I know I did something, but I don't know if I could prove it in the court of law. That's how they began to fail, because they were behind the eight ball the rest of the day, just putting out fires. Versus being fire preventers, they were actually being fire fighters. So we took after we did the audit, we kind of looked at the results. We took the next 3 months and we challenged them. We said, for the first hour of your day, I'm a big believer that if you can win the first hour of your day, you win the day. So we challenged them, for the first hour of the day, don't check your email. Well, I might as well had 3 heads and speak in a different language, because there was no way. They said, you don't understand. We have clients we have to serve. We have emails we have to get to. There's no way we could do it in an hour. So we negotiated, and we found 20 minutes. Instead of, in the first 20 minutes when you walk into the office, instead of getting on your laptop and checking your email, create your perfect ideal day and create your 3-pack. Your 3-pack is something that we talk about of what are those 3 things today? And I do this not daily, but I try to do this consistently. What are those 3 things today that if I get done, I will consider it a productive day? Big or small, it doesn't matter. You don't have to set the world on fire. What are those 3 things, that 3-pack, that, again, at the end of the day, you can look back and say, was I successful or was I not? It's not about a gig or a merit system. It's just about helping yourself be intentional to make sure that you get the things done that you want to get done. So we did that, and they all committed to that for the first 20 minutes. They weren't going to check their email. They were going to get proactive. They bought into my thought process of, you win the first hour of the day, you win the day. They created those 3-packs, and we did another time and motion study for another 3 months. Here's what we found. Those same people were 62% more productive, got 84% better results in the results that they're asked to do, just by switching that one habit. Now, I don't know if I can take full credit, but because that one shift challenged them to be more proactive, they found more time in their day, they were more efficient, more effective, and drove better results. That's what I'm talking about with habits, right? You have habits that sometimes hinder progress, and you might be unconscious to it. So when you're truly thinking about what activities and habits do you have to have, form, and create that can drive those goals and create and help you move towards that vision, those are the things you got to get intentional about. They could have easily just said, well, that's not possible. I got to check my email. but they dedicated 20 minutes and there was a lot of different results that happened because of that. So those activities that people do every single day that turn into some habits that turn into results ultimately help people wind up at a destination. Now, if you look at life in general, if you look at your career, if you look at your personal life, most of the time when people look back on this destination, it is somewhere else, somewhere where they did not plan on being. They kind of just hopped on the river of life or hopped on the river of their career and they wound up there. And 95% of the time, people look back and they say, what in the hell happened? That's how most of you are living your life. If you audited yourself over the next 1, 2, 3 weeks, you would find that a lot of times you're just reactive to the activities that have built habits over time, that have produced results you may or may have not wanted, that landed you at a destination that probably, if you reverse course, is not where you wanted to be 5, 10, 15 years ago. So how do you change all that? How do you take that from being in reverse and really be proactive and move toward your goals, toward your definition of success? Now, I'll tell you that everybody's definition of success is different. Mine is not going to motivate you to do anything. Yours isn't going to motivate me. It has to be personalized and it has to be really selfish in a way, right? I have tried to put my vision and my definition of success in other people, and I have failed miserably over the past 2.5 decades. When I finally realized that if I help people succeed around their vision and their definition of success, I win also. By the way, I have a worksheet that can help you put a plan in place to take your big goals and make them a reality. I'll put a link in the description below. So let's talk about it. Let's look at this formula. Let's look at how we begin to change the formula in a way that we set ourselves up for the highest probability of success. So instead of that destination, what really successful people do, and again, the definition of success is different for everybody, but what really successful people do in their career, in their relationships, in their social, in their whatever their definition is, instead of a destination, they first start with a vision. And that vision is so clear that it helps them wake up every single day and say yes to the right things, and more importantly, say no to the wrong things. So instead of starting at the bottom from activities, they start from the top and they create and craft that vision. If you don't have that vision, that's a good start. Think about where you want to be 3 years from today, 5 years from today. Research shows that we truly overestimate what we can accomplish in 12 months, but we truly underestimate what we can accomplish in 3 to 5 years. So thinking about that vision and what is it? What's the ideal life for you? What's the ideal experience? How are you living it out? And writing it as if it's already taken place. So you start with that vision, and that's your true north. That becomes everything is anchored and decisions are made around that vision. Now, let's work it backwards. From the vision, truly successful people set goals. Goals are the stepping stones that allow us to get to our vision. So if I want to walk 10 miles and that's the vision, what's my goal? Well, my goal might be, let's get through half a mile, and then let's get to the next half a mile. And so those goals allow us to break our vision up into chunks that are more palatable, absorbable, realistic, and allows us to make sure we're moving in the right direction. It also allows us to audit. It also allows us to take stake and say, are we moving in the direction of our vision? So the vision's clear, and then the goals, which are smaller pieces or stepping stones, are clear. That's just the plan. A lot of people do that, but now it's about taking that theory and that plan and actually implementing. And this really separates the top 2% of people in however you define success. Because once you have the plan, now you have to implement. And so what happens is now they begin to think about, what habits do I have that are ultimately going to help me reach my vision? Every day, habits good or habits bad, they begin to audit the habits and think about, what habits do I need to build or continue doing more of? More importantly, what habits do I need to break? What are those habits that are not moving me toward my vision? What are those habits that are not helping me reach my goals? And they get really intentional about the habits that show up every single day that either help or hurt the vision. And they exemplify or they stress the positive and they eliminate the negative. Every day I wake up, I audit. I think about those things. And I have bad habits too. I'm not saying I'm perfect. This is not Cloud9 Disney World. Everything happens, it's perfectly every single day. I have habits that I have to audit every single day. And sometimes when I don't audit it and I don't really pay attention to it, sometimes those habits creep in that don't necessarily help me create the vision or move me toward the vision that I defined as success in my life. This is where the rubber really meets the road. So I have the vision, I have my goals, I have my habits. Now it comes down to daily activities. And those daily activities are now much more intentional and much more proactive because everything that successful people are doing is moving them toward their vision, because those activities will ultimately create the habits that produce the goals or results that drive the vision. Now it's easier to get up and again say yes or no to the things that are going to move you forward. The world is filled with noise. There is so much coming at us today, and we could literally, there's a difference between being busy and productive every single day. We could literally be busy 24/7. But the question is, are we being productive? Are we being intentional about the activities that drive the habits, that hit the goals, that take us to our vision? And that really makes it easier and intentional on a daily basis. Think about it. You wake up every single day, and whatever's in your life, you have decisions you have to make. If you're not proactive and you don't have the vision and you don't have the goals and you don't understand their habits or activities, then you begin to, again, be stuck in reverse. You get up and do the things that are easy and convenient, not the things you need to do, the things that are easy and convenient that ultimately produce those habits that create those results that take you to a destination that is not your true definition of success. So where do you start? Well, you start by getting really clear on what the definition of success is for you and what that means for you and how you drive that every single day. And then you get really, really truthful with yourself. And you begin to think about, what habits and activities do I need to shift starting today that can help me move towards my vision? An inch or a mile, it doesn't matter as long as we're moving forward. And I don't know the time frame. Only you know the time frame. So get clear, think about your activities, think about your habits, start making shifts. And the most important thing in that is break the habits that don't help you move towards the vision. If you found this video valuable, you'll want to check out my video on 3 questions every leader must ask themselves. Check it out now.